Yes Theory recently published a video titled, "I paid a taxi driver $10,000 to see how far it takes me." And we're gonna break down how they told this story from the choice of characters to the set, the plot itself, and how they layered their video with 5 motivations or curiosity gaps to make the viewer watch till the end. And why are we analysing Yes Theory? Because their storytelling strategy leads to consistently viral videos, with them even winning Best Editing at the streamings.
This streaming goes to Yes Theory!
If you haven't watched this video, don't worry because it's simple enough to explain in one sentence. The Yes Theory team started off in London, hired a random taxi driver,
Is that a yes? Yeah, I would say.
asked him to drive until the meter hits $10,000, and over the next week, they drove from London to Paris to Spain to Portugal and ended up in Morocco, Africa.
Mr. Rajpal Singh, I'm happy to announce that you are the very first London black cab taxi driver to ever drive in Morocco.
So let's start with the video idea. What is the objective of the story or motivations for people to watch? Each layer represents one motivation or one question people want to have it answered. Now, first layer, how far can a $10,000 taxi fare take them? Second layer, is it actually possible to take a London cab across country borders? Third layer, experiencing the sights and people of the cities and countries they travel to, otherwise known as the travel vlog motivation. There are actually 2 more motivations, but I will uncover them as we go along. But even now, with at least 3 motivations for this story, it entices people to click in and watch. So the next consideration is the set, where we ask ourselves, where should we film this travel adventure video? Why can't it be in the United States, just like how Trahan traveled across the states in his Paint series?
Starting from just 1 penny, I'm trying to cross America in the next 30 days so I can deliver it to Mr. Beast.
Why does it need to start in London? For this video to sustain the audience attention, it needs to have locational variety. Traveling across the United States is not as exciting because it is not as drastic a change from state to state, and not as many challenges to encounter since there are no state borders. Now, even if you head down south to Mexico, that's only 2 countries. By starting the video from London, it allows the video to be filmed from UK to Western Europe to Africa. Now, going back to the motivations of this video, filming the video across 5 countries helps to give it a sense of visual progress as they conquer one country to the next, garner more reactions from the public about their London black cab, as well as give the feeling of watching a travel vlog.
Oh, look at that! Oh, Eiffel Tower! It's amazing!
Another travel adventure YouTube channel called Jetlag that films travel adventure series all around the world, from Europe to US to New Zealand to Japan, but a series that performed the best was the one that covered Europe, probably because of the same reason: the locational variety within Europe.
We're back in Charlottesville, France. We're playing tag across Europe, but that bell means it's 6 a.m. and Ben's the runner, so he's gotta go.
So now that we set out the set of the story, then who should be the main character of this story? And how do we tell his story? Most YouTubers will have cast themselves as the main character of this travel adventure video. That would seem to make the most sense, right? However, Yes Theory realized a serious authenticity problem with that. Over the years, the Yes Theory team has become extremely well-traveled and comfortable with stepping into the unknown. Even though the video idea itself is exciting and challenging, you can't expect much of a reaction or challenge if the main character is Thomas or Amar or Stefan. In fact, if they pretend to be super excited about this travel challenge, it will not be authentic simply because they are well traveled in Europe and they probably planned the whole route themselves to begin with.
Not what I thought would happen when we brainstormed this idea.
There will be no surprises or any meaningful character development if so. Hence, to make the video relatable and offer a chance for character development, they have to make a stranger the main character of the video. Now, better still, find a stranger that never traveled and hence a chance for his life to be changed by this journey.
Yeah. You know what main character energy means? Now, you have it.
That unlocks the 4th motivation of the video. How will the taxi driver react and be impacted by this life-changing experience? For us viewers, this taxi driver becomes the person we can relate to, and his reaction to the kindness of Yes Theory and the joy of traveling is what we can identify with. This is the same reason why we want to watch audition clips of talent shows.
For 17, we write songs, You've got an amazing, distinctive voice.
To see an unknown normal person have their life changed by the experience. Can you imagine how different the video would be if the main character was not the taxi driver but just one of Yes Theory's team members? Now moving on to the plot of the story, we can think of it as a three-act narrative: the setup, the confrontation, and the resolution. The stakes here are high because what sets apart a high retention and a low retention video is how well we deliver this narrative. Now in the first act, the objective is to establish the characters, the context, and most importantly, sell the motivations to why the viewers should watch the video. To sell motivation 1, they need the audience to understand the scale of a $10,000 cab ride. Now none of us has ever taken a ride that costs $10,000, so we don't really have a clue how far that is. Hence, Yes Theory puts things into perspective by mentioning this important line.
A typical hour-long ride to the airport is about $100, which means with some quick math, that $10,000 is going to take us far, very far.
The other important motivation that Yes Theory needs to sell is this: how will the taxi driver react and be impacted by this life-changing experience? Now for that to be a motivation for people to watch the video, people first need to know and care about the driver. And it's not just because the taxi driver is the main character of the story, but rather that if we don't understand him, we don't care about him. And if we don't care about him, then we don't really care about how this venture will change his life. Now let's use this line to represent character development. Now this is where the main character is at the start of the video with respect to his emotional and mental state, and this is where we want him to be at the end of the video. The gap in between is the character development, and is also what makes the video worth watching. Now the wider we can stretch this gap, the greater the character development and the more exciting the video becomes. And that is where the magic of Yes Theory comes in. By asking him very intentional and specific questions.
Have you taken the cab internationally before?
I haven't taken people abroad internationally, no.
Have you had much opportunity to travel outside of the UK?
I haven't. I've never been asked, and I haven't. I wouldn't know my way round.
When was the last time you did a trip for fun?
I haven't had fun for many years. I've been going through a very difficult time at home. I think time is for me to have a little bit of fun.
I feel excited for Dad because I feel like this is kind of exactly what he loves doing.
Now we know he has never travelled, he has just gone through a rough patch, but he loves an adventure. This widens the gap and makes motivation 4 the key reason why people want to watch the video. With all these strategies in place, the video starts off really strong. The problem comes in addressing Act 2. The purpose of the second act is to show the progress of the story as well as the characters overcoming the setbacks along the way. Now what's tough here is that we can't really plan what setbacks they will face along the way. However, what I hope people realize is the strategies that Yes Theory put in place to show the progress side of the story. Note, progressing doesn't just mean physically getting closer to the $10,000 end of the taxi fare. Now, progress can also be the emotional and mental progress of the characters. Now, as the main character journeys through the video, he is rewarded with experiences that Yes Theory intentionally planned.
Reg doesn't realize that I'm actually telling him about a surprise that's coming at the end of the video for him.
From the opportunity to stay in a castle.
This is where we're staying tonight. We're staying in a castle.
We are what?
To visiting the Historic Automobiles Museum.
We discovered that there's a museum of historic automobiles here.
Oh, this is a chance in a million.
And having his son join him at the last leg of the journey.
We flew his son, Hera, out from London to surprise him and join us for the rest of the journey.
And then you can turn her off.
I really missed you.
Oh, no. I love you.
These are moments of progress that moves his emotional and mental state closer to the final form. He is slowly discovering new experiences and the joy of traveling, and that is the character development that Yes Theory was intentional about. If Yes Theory did not plan for these mini experiences spread out throughout the journey, would the viewers still watch on and be engaged? At last, the team has reached the end point. They have arrived at the end of the $10,000 taxi fare in Morocco, Africa. And the storytelling techniques here are so key to evoking emotion in the viewer. In the final act of the story, it's all about closing off the motivations of the story. We now know where a $10,000 taxi fare takes you and that this absurd challenge is actually possible. And we have experienced Europe through the lens of the taxi driver like a travel vlog. Much of the footage in this act is focused on showing how the main character has had his life changed by the experience.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, man. You took us here, and we did it together.
And this is where even I myself close the loop to the last motivation of my video, to finally tell you what's the last motivation of this Yes Theory video if you haven't guessed it already. Now, even though the main character of the video is the taxi driver, and yes, we are invested in him, but the fact remains is that to the regular viewers of Yes Theory, we have a longer and deeper connection to Thomas and Amar and Stefan. And therefore, we are equally invested into wanting to know the character development that happens for them as well. Now, as they plan this experience to make an impact to Reg, they get impacted as well, seeing the gratitude and positivity from Reg.
Thank you, Putri.
And that closes the final motivation of the story. How will the Yes Theory team be impacted and inspired by the main character? Thank you, Yes Theory, for pioneering a genre on YouTube that brings positivity and inspiration to us all.